So Ford method, this is our strategy for maximizing creative output. The reason we call it the Ford method is basically we've turned the creative process into an assembly line where each station works on a part. So the key to the strategy is taking what used to be looked at as a singular entity, which is a video for an ad, and instead breaking that up into modular components. So we no longer look at videos for ads as one thing. We look at, here's a bunch of pieces that we know are really, really important to make a good ad. And each one of those pieces can be shot independently and then connected to tell a story that's cohesive. This rethink of how ad creative is made is absolutely game changing. This one thing, this strategy we're talking about right here is going to change the game for all your ad creative, right? Just thinking about ad creative as modular instead of singular is like this changed our game for our agency overnight once we started doing this. And every student we've taught this to, it changed the game for them. So I'm really excited to talk about this specific strategy. Now, the reason why it allows us to dramatically increase our creative output is because since it's modular, not singular, we don't need to shoot, like, let's say we want to create 16 ads this week. Now, if I told that to any of you, you'd think you need to shoot 16 unique ads, that you need to come up with 16 unique angles. You need to write scripts for 16 unique ads. You need to block out the time to shoot 16 total videos. You need to edit 16 total videos. You need to be in different scenes. Like it's a lot, right? With the Ford method, the way we look at it is, okay, this week we're going to shoot 4 unique ads. Okay. A lot less than 16. And this is if we want to make 16. If you want to do, 12 ads this week or 8 ads this week, it can be even fewer, but let's say 16. So we're going to do 4 unique ads this week. Okay. Easy enough to do, right? We don't need a lot of work to shoot 4 unique ads every single week. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to that slide where I talked about, hey, here's the most important elements, right? So the opening hook. The opening hook, again, in my opinion, most important part of any ad today. So we're going to shoot 4 different opening hooks. And I have a list. We create a list, and I shared it, I think, in past trainings of like, here's all of our best hooks. And we're just going to keep adding to it. So here's hook idea, hook idea, hook idea. So that way we know when we need to shoot new hooks this week, we have this massive list over here of just templates and ideas. So we can just go down the list. So all you need to do then, if you have 4 core ads, is sit here or anywhere you want, nice background, whatever, and 4 quick videos, 1-2 sentences. There's your hook. Now you can combine each one of those hooks with each one of those ads. And so you have 4 hooks, 4 ads. That makes 16 total combinations. So you have 16 unique pieces of ad creative to test that week. But we really only put in work shooting 4 real ads because the hooks are super easy to shoot. I can knock out 4 hooks in 4 minutes maximum, right? If I haven't written down already, I'm just putting my phone up there or my DSLR over here, hitting record, saying it really quick, and I'm done. Okay. And then using software we talk about at the end of the presentation to edit it all together, which you can do on your iPhone, you can do on your Mac and or your laptop computer, whatever it is. So that allows us to combine multiple modular components to dramatically multiply our creative output. And so you can do this with the hook, you can do this with the core ad, you can do this with the opening text overlay. So if you want to not shoot, 4 new hooks, you might just say, hey, okay, I got the 4 different ads. I'm going to have 4 different text overlays that I'm going to overlay. So same thing. I have 16 total ads because each one of those core ads now has a different text overlay, 4 of them when it opens. Same type of thing, not dramatically different, but it's different enough that that text overlay, the different ones might resonate with a different person. It might speak to a different person. It might kind of aggravate a little problem and agitate them a little bit. So they're like, oh, I get that. I have that problem. I want a solution for that problem. So that's why we love this strategy. And again, you can also test, the end part of it. So you can test the call to actions, the outros. You can swap in all kinds of different elements. You could add different, stickers or animations in the beginning. Any element you could think of that's going to make it a little bit different, you can work that in as a modular component to your Ford method system. So again, it requires little additional effort because it's modular, because you're not reshooting and redoing everything from scratch each time. So let's dive in and look at the actual kind of template that we use in the framework in the kind of the creative hub that we shared last week. Let's share this over here. Okay. So basically what we do is every week, member of the creative team, whoever's running that account, comes in here. We have our forward method tracker. And usually over the weekend, they'll come in, or, that week leading up to it, but basically leading up to the next week, they'll come in here and they'll drop their video ideas they want to test for this week. And remember, last training, we talked about, these different libraries where we're storing the ideas. So all the time they're storing video ideas, text overlay ideas, opening hook ideas. They're basically then using this sheet to move in and prioritize. Here's the 4 we want to test this week. So here's 4 video ideas that we're testing. Here's the type of video it's going to be. So, and we're going to talk about these different styles in the demos we're going to do, kind of the examples we're going to look at. So green screen video, unboxing, delivery to demo, duet stitch, review, answering question, unboxing, and then you can add more and more video types as you guys decide different styles you want to use. Here's the, what they're going to say in the opening hook. Here's the, record by date for whoever's filming that. So this is kind of a collaborative sheet that the creator's using, the editors are using, the media buyer's using. Here's the video status. So it's in the queue, it's in progress, completed. If we have any examples or inspiration that have been used, stored, we dropped a link there. Here's the client approval. So if it's approved and ready to go, again, this is just for if you're working with a client. If it's your own brands, you can ignore that. Then we have any notes from the client. If it's rejected, to go back and refilm. And then this is the part where you decide, like, what is that kind of other modular component you really want to focus on? Is it going to be the text overlay? Is it going to be the opening hook? So for this template, we had headline text. So then you'd put, here's the 4 headlines we're going to test this week. And now these are your 8 kind of modular sources that are going to give you that 16 unique combinations. And so each creative is going to get named. It's going to get labeled down here. So here's the finished creative. So we have 16 total. We're going to have, the creative status. It's now completed. Here's the link to the finished piece of creative. So we have that stored in for reference. This is kind of more advanced stuff. We don't have to necessarily talk about this today because it's a little more, I'm kind of a data person and a nerd there. But we have kind of a whole tagging system for how we label our ad names. And this allows us then to using things like Data Studio Supermetrics, or if you use, business intelligence dashboards like Grow, you can actually have this. Sorry, somebody's knocking the door. My dogs are not going to bark. I actually think it was our ice machine that went off, and they just thought it was the door. But once one of them goes, they all go. So we have our tags here. So essentially, we're giving an alphanumeric tag. Even that word makes me sound like a nerd. Alphanumeric tags to each element. So this video is, CR1. This tag is HT1. If you're using a hook, you could do, HK1. And that's basically just giving a unique identifier to every element. And then they're put together here to label the entire ad. The reason we do this is because then we can use like things like filters and different queries in Supermetrics to basically break out each element and see how each element's performing. And then also how aggregates are performing. So like how this total ad is doing across all ad groups. How is this headline performing across all the ads it's in? How is this video performing? So it allows us to just get like a lot more granular with our data. You totally don't have to do this. This is just like, we like to really, really get deep data on how everything performs across all of our offers. So that's why we have this kind of really robust tagging system. I would recommend, this is just a general tip, that whatever you're doing, you have consistent naming conventions. Again, super boring thing, but I can't tell you, I've been in the agency game for a very, very long time. I've worked with hundreds of businesses, and most of them, their ad accounts are a complete mess when it comes to being able to find anything, being able to optimize, because they don't know what ad worked, what didn't work, because they don't even know what this ad is, right? They don't label anything. It's just like random strings that like Facebook gives you, or whatever the file name was. So definitely come up with a naming convention and at least just make it consistent for your ad account. So you can look, if you look at any ad account we run, no matter who you are, no matter whether you're a new media buyer or an experienced one, you can come in and know exactly, okay, this campaign is for this offer. this is the media buyers running it. This is the objective. This is the budget type. This is the start date. Okay, this ad set is targeting this interest, these genders, these ages, this placement, this bid. Okay, this ad has this headline, this, like, it's very, very clear what everything is without needing to go into anything and look at anything, just by looking at the title. So I'd recommend at a minimum you do something like that. But then if you want to get really crazy like me, you can use these different creative tags that we have built into our system here. So that's our kind of 4x4 Ford method creative sprint. This can also be modified, right? So this is based on the goal of getting 16 ads every single week that we want to test. If you want, like, maybe you're only spending, $100 a day. It's a new account. You're just getting started. Maybe you only want to test, 8 ads a week or 9 ads a week. If it's just 9, you can limit both these down. So you can drop this down to, 3 videos, 3 headlines. Or if you just want to do 8, you can do, 2 videos, 4 headlines, 2 videos, 4 hooks, right? So you can make it work to whatever your bandwidth is. This is just kind of the standard 404 that we usually do for all of our offers and all of our clients, because we find it gives us kind of a sweet spot of the amount of creative to test for the levels of spend that we're doing on a regular basis.